Hey guys, I'm Will Walker and this is the William Walker Company Project Channel. Today we're going to build a custom PC. So I'm building a computer customized for my needs for photo and video editing, with my main company being William Walker Photography, and then these videos that I do for you guys for the William Walker Company Project Channel. But all of the steps involved are the same, it's just the components that go into the computer will just be a little bit different. Building a computer really isn't hard, you just need to know the parts that go into it, and then once you have those parts, everything just kind of fits into place where it needs to go. So whenever I'm building a custom PC, I source all of my components from Newegg.com. They aren't paying me to say that, I just really like them. They're a great company, they've been around for a while. They've got all of the newest, greatest. They have fast shipping, they have great customer service, they have a lot of video tutorials over there, they talk about their products, and they're just really passionate about what they do. And whenever I'm building a computer, I always start by designing it, starting with a processor. Then I can find a motherboard to match that socket for that specific processor, and then build the rest of the computer around that.
The first thing you'll need is a case. Start by laying it down and taking the side panel off. I personally like big cases. They allow for air circulation and they give you room to work. Now that you have the case ready, go ahead and lay out all the components. The things you need are a motherboard, a processor, also called a CPU, at least one hard drive. I'm using a 7200 RPM drive for storage and a solid state drive to install the operating system, some RAM, power supply, a video card, operating system. I'm building a Windows-based system, a dryer sheet, thermal compound, and a screwdriver. Static electricity is a big concern when building a computer. Use the dryer sheet to wipe down the case in your hands to make sure you don't zap anything while you're assembling the computer. The case should come with these standoffs for mounting the motherboard. Screw them into the case according to the placement of the mounting holes on the motherboard. The board will come with a plate to put in the back of the case. It just clicks into place with a little pressure. Then mount the motherboard with the screws that came with the case. Now mount the power supply. Drop the processor in the socket. Just be sure to pay attention to the direction it's going. They only go in one way. Then use thermal compound on top of the processor before mounting the fan and heatsink. If you look closely, you'll see some connectors on the motherboard. Find the one labeled CPU fan and plug it in. My case came with some pre-installed fans, so I found the ports on the board labeled chassis fan and plugged them in. The case also had some USB 2 and 3 ports on the front, as well as some LEDs, and inputs for headphones and a microphone, which the motherboard all had labeled ports for. Next, I install the RAM. I'm using 4 sticks of 8GB DDR3, but you can get away with just using 2 sticks, which will give you room for expansion later on. The sticks of RAM just click in, and they only go in one way, so it's pretty straightforward. This is about the time that I start to hook everything up to the power supply. I start with the connection to the motherboard in 2 places, one by the RAM you just installed and one by the CPU. I also hook up an SATA3 cable to get ready to mount the hard drives. Every case I've ever owned has had a different way to mount hard drives to the case. This case provided these little rubber grommets you attach to the drive, and they slip into some holes in the case. Attach the SATA cable and the power cable to the hard drive and drop it into place. Hook up the solid state drive the exact same way. When you install the video card, you'll need to remove some blanks from the back of the case. Just use a screwdriver to remove them and save the screws. To install the card, just slide it into the PCI slot until it clicks in place, then secure it to the case with the screws you saved. Then connect the video card to the power supply. I didn't show it here, but be sure to connect the 6-pin connector as well as the 8-pin if it has one. I forgot to mention you'll want an optical drive, either a DVD or a Blu-ray drive. I stole this one off my old computer, but they're not expensive if you have to buy one. Hook up the power and the SATA cable and connect it to the motherboard the same way that you did with the hard drives. I like to keep things a little tidier with a twist tie to make sure none of the cords stop any spinning fans. Put the side panel back on the case and take your new computer to the office. Turn on the computer and open the disk drive to install the operating system. If you're prompted to, select boot from disk, then just follow the instructions. If you installed a solid-state drive, be sure to install the operating system on that drive. Once installed, start up Windows and install the drivers that came with your motherboard and video card, and make sure to run Windows Update. I installed Windows 7 Pro, but at the time of making this video, Windows was offering a free upgrade to Windows 10, so that's what I'm running now.
Alright guys, that's it. That's how you build a custom PC. I know it's totally out of the makerspace of what you're used to on this channel with woodworking and metalworking and things like that. So I hope you don't feel betrayed, but I had to build the PC, so I might as well film it, right? So please like and subscribe to my channel if you like what I'm doing. Leave me comments in the comments section. I'm going to leave a description to all of the components that I put into this computer if you want to build the exact same one. And until next time, thanks guys.